Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we're going to talk about how to use and dose LGD4033, also known as Anabolicum. But before we get into that, just a huge thank you to all of you out there that are supporting the channel. It's tremendous. I can't even begin to thank you enough. Please, if you haven't yet, subscribe, like the videos, make sure you click that bell icon after you subscribe, otherwise YouTube's not going to send you all the notifications. And when you see the video start up, you'll see a couple podcast links in the bottom. So these videos are in podcast form. So make sure you follow me on Apple, Spotify, Google, all of the podcast links you see. You just want to stay subscribed to everything. So let's get into it and dive into LGD4033. Now, it's not that this is some long, drawn-out, hard concept to follow. It's not. It's very, very simple. But I see so many people that, and in fairness, totally understand. They always have these questions about dosing it very high. And, well, I heard this, or I saw this, or this was recommended. No. Look, you can always go higher with things, yes, but there's always a point in time where you get too high and you're losing everything that you're working for based on the fact that you're just enduring way too many side effects and you're actually hindering what you're able to do. Now, SARMs in general don't have a ton of side effects, but you can overdose on anything. I mean, even drinking water, like you could drown yourself. Obviously, that is very hard to do. But my point is that even things that you need, you can overeat. You can take too much Tylenol. I mean, vitamins that can be toxic. There's always a limit on everything, right? So there's limits on PEDs especially. So with LGD4033, I'm going to cover men and women. So for men, 10 milligrams a day is the most that you need, but 10 milligrams a day is where you want to stay as well, because if you start going too low, you're not going to get what you could out of it. But if you go too high, then you're going to start having unwanted side effects. So for instance, LGD is not highly suppressive, but it's a bit more suppressive than like your basic MK2866, your basic S4. It kind of falls in that middle realm, I guess, with maybe RAD140. You start getting into the YK11 and S23 especially. You're getting more suppressive as it goes. LGD's kind of right in the middle. Not too bad, but you still want to be aware, right? So I've got no issue if you start at 5 milligrams as a man, but you do want to get up in that 10 milligram range to really get everything out of it. Now, in rare occasions, I've seen people that have complained about gynecomastia irritation. Now, I do wonder for some of the people whether they actually have legitimate LGD, because I've seen some people that have gotten it from questionable companies that I'm going to obviously remain nameless, but that have reported that. But then I've seen it from people that I know are getting it from good companies as well. So while it's very, very, very slim to none chance on that, and it doesn't convert to estrogen, there's just these weird anomalies out there that people get weird side effects. There's always exceptions to rules. There's always that small percentage. So it's just something to point out and be aware of. Is there a likelihood of that happening? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Is it possible? Sure. And if it's even possible, I've got to bring it up. I'm not trying to scare anybody, especially with this. It's a rare thing, but just be aware. 12 weeks is where you're going to keep your dosing. You don't want to go over that. You could limit it to 8. Just remember that that's kind of starting to peak around 6, 7, and 8, and you don't really want to stop while it's peaking because there's still gains to be made. It's not going to require a full post-cycle therapy, just a mini post-cycle therapy. I have a video posted on SARM's mini post-cycle therapies. I encourage you to watch that. That will show you exactly what you need to do with a post-cycle therapy for generally most all SARMs aside from S23, which would require a full PCT. And I've covered that in my S23 videos. Now, as a female, I don't recommend females go any higher than 5 milligrams. And generally what I do with females is have them start about half that dose. So 2.5 milligrams a day the first 2 weeks. Then, as long as you're responding well to it, not seeing side effects and things of that nature, you could bump to 5 milligrams. You don't have to. That is completely up to you. And obviously, you don't have to do anything, especially anything I say. I'm just here to help and educate any way that I can through experience and things of that nature. But that is my recommendation, in my opinion, as a female. 12 weeks again. For the females, you don't require a post-cycle therapy. It's never a bad idea to run a test booster for 4 weeks after as a female. It's certainly not going to hurt you. Women still need a small amount of testosterone, so it's definitely not going to hurt you, but it's not like you need to do like a Clomid or Novadex type of PCT or anything of that nature. So that's really, LGD is not difficult, okay? It's just when I see people wanting to run 20, 30, 40 milligrams of it, don't do it. Just don't do it to yourself. I would encourage you not to. There's no, it's not like you're going to get some crazy amount of more gains. So, you know, for instance, with steroids, let's say you're doing 30 milligrams of Anabar. Is there a significant difference between 30 and 50? Absolutely. But with LGD, it's not like you're going to get this major explosion from going 10 to 20, but you're sure going to get a lot more side effects. And I just don't want to see people endure that, especially for no reason. It's just not necessary whatsoever. If you're looking for a good recommendation on quality, where I'm recommending right now, and I have been for quite some time, is SARMS.ForSale. It's just FORSALE. That's the place that I have found to really be coming through, have great pricing, great shipping, great customer service, great quality, all of that. That's who I would recommend. I'm not saying they're the only one out there. I'm just saying that's my recommendation where I know I have comfort in knowing they're not going to make me look bad. At least I hope not. But anyway, that being said, that is LGD, and I hope everybody learns, listens, and really understands that when I give these dosings, it's through years and years of experience. And while I am a bit more conservative on things, I want you to get the most out of everything you're doing in the safest way possible. So that's it. That being said, appreciate you all. Love you all. Stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.